Hello, my name is Daryl D'souza. I am the co-founder of a barbecue and blues restaurant here in Toronto called Lou Dawgs Barbecue. I'm also, thank you very much. I'm also a social media consultant and I teach marketing across the street here at Ryerson University. What I'd like to do today is stay with the theme of the TEDx talk and tell you a little bit about the most, I guess, incredible jump that I took in life and opening a barbecue and blues restaurant with my good friend, chef, and business partner, Sean Smith. So in 2009, we opened our first location on King Street, and since then, it's been quite an adventure. So what I'd like to do today is share some of that story with you, almost as a case study, and tell you my experience of building brand, both online and off, and the power of social media. So let's start at the top. What is brand? Brand is a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's good or service as distinct from that of other sellers. That's straight from any marketing textbook and the American Marketing Association. The term brand actually comes from cattle farmers who used to brand their animals, again, to keep their animals distinct from the animals of other farmers. You know, it's funny, I often tell people that Lou Dawgs is my firstborn. And what's funny about that is I'm not joking. Lou Dawgs, the DNA of Lou Dawgs, of what Lou Dawgs is today, actually comes from the best parts of my personality and skills combined with the best parts of my partner Sean's personality and skills. And from that moment, every employee we hire, every consumer that comes in, every experience or memory that's created in and around the Lou Dawgs brand builds on that brand to define who it is. What is Lou Dawgs? How is Lou Dawgs received by the community at large? So brand equity is the reliability and consistent transactions that occur between a company and their consumers. And that consistent transaction ends up building loyalty with the consumer because it's a comfort that the consumer knows what to expect and then gets what they expect. And that builds positive word of mouth and ultimately a relationship between the consumer and the brand. So this is a global brand that we're all familiar with. And again, the reason this brand exists is because it's consistent and reliable, and it gives you that comfort in knowing that when you go to buy a Coca-Cola, whether you're in China, Australia, or Canada, you're going to get a Coca-Cola. Whether it's a convenience store, a vending machine, or a restaurant, Coca-Cola is Coca-Cola. And it's that consistency that allows the consumer the comfort in building a brand, building a relationship with that brand. So obviously that's the focus or the goal of what I'm trying to do with Lou Dawgs, and give people a consistent understanding as to what we are and who we are. So the brand is the primary source of competitive advantage. The brand is also your primary asset to manage. You must protect the brand. I come from an East Indian family, and I can't tell you how many times my parents have said to me, "Daryl, you should sell samosas. Everyone loves samosas. You should sell samosas." They're right. Samosas are delicious. But once you define your brand, once you understand who you are, you have to resist the urge or the temptation to try to become all things to all people. Once you know who you are, you also know who you're not. And we are not the restaurant that sells samosas. Nothing against samosas. Because brand is what others say about you when you leave the room. So the only control that you could possibly have is to make sure that every single consumer gets a consistent and positive interaction with your brand when you're not around, so that the message or the understanding is consistent. So opening a restaurant in 2009, small business owner, over the past 4 years, we've seen an incredible growth in social media. And that's had a huge impact on my world and I guess what my job is today. So I didn't know much about social media. Well, it was new, so there was really nothing to know. But the bird kept popping up. What was this bird? This bird is an app called Twitter. So Twitter is one app in a suite of social media apps that allows you to communicate in 140 characters or less, short text messages with other people that choose to be part of your audience, that choose to be part of your community. This app, today, 6 years later, has 500 million active users and 340 million tweets or messages per day. What is social media? Social media is the real-time connectedness. Real-time connectedness, and what's amazing about social media, it's a local or even a personal focus with a global reach. And that's something that's never been possible before. It's impacted all of our lives. Even the traditional media, like the television, has been impacted by social media. Today, 75% of people that watch TV have a social media capable device within arm's reach. It allows them to become part of a larger conversation, and it enriches the viewing experience. This bird pops up everywhere. Friendly little bird. So in the US, 31 million election-related tweets were exchanged 2 weeks ago during the election, including this one. President Obama himself was able to give a direct thank you to every one of his followers, everyone on his community, everyone that supported him along the way. He was able to, with minimal time and from the palm of his hand, give a direct thank you to each one of them. Now that's something that, again, without social media, was never possible before, was never even imaginable before. So what is it that makes this bird so ubiquitous in our society? We're not all sitting at the desk on our laptops waiting for tweets to come in. You know, it's just, but for some reason, this bird is everywhere. And the reason is this technology here, this old telephone. This telephone has evolved into this smartphone, affectionately known as our Crackberry. So our Crackberry has now become smartphones. Smartphones like this, and smartphones like this. This has been an incredible journey for social media and for the globe, and every citizen on the globe. This friendly little tool that allows people to exchange messages with their friends and their community, to tell each other what you eat for lunch, and that you're going to the gym, and that the public transit is delayed, can now more accurately be represented like this in 2012. The ability to communicate in real time, the ability to connect with the masses has mobilized the people in the Occupy movements across the world. It's had full revolutions in the Middle East. There's a hacktivist group called Anonymous that's able to mobilize and organize their masses through the power of social media. It's real time, it's global reaching, and it's free. It's a free technology that's available to all of us. So yes, my friends, every single one of us, in the palm of our hands, we're connected. We're connected and we're armed. We're armed with the community, we're armed with communication, we're armed with real-time communication, and once again, this is free. This has never been available before in history of mankind, and this is fundamentally changing our planet. So back at the barbecue restaurant, I opened a couple Twitter accounts, a Lou Dawgs Twitter account, some Facebook accounts, and even a YouTube channel called Lou Dawgs LouTube. So armed with an understanding of brand and the concept of social media now, what is building brand, online and off? The two principles that were kind of pervasive in my experience is, one is community management. Community management, okay, what is that? Open a community bar, open another community bar right here at Ryerson, invite the community in to share experiences, good times, and celebrations. Support our local community center, which is this beautiful building right here. Support the local hockey team, support the varsity sports here at Ryerson University. So now that I've engaged the community and built a community around the Lou Dawgs home, the next principle is the most powerful and what is only possible through social media, and that is the term engagement. Engagement allows you to literally engage with each and every individual in that community, otherwise known as your target market. This was the traditional approach to marketing. Obnoxious, one-directional, intrusive, and this is now possible with social media. Obviously, a more friendly approach, a more effective approach in building the relationship with the consumer, which is the important part about building brand. This was the marketing process before social media. To go from an idea through design and production and distribution to deliver a message to your community, now social media allows us to communicate like this. It's a direct link to your consumers. One of the things I did at Lou Dawgs was launch a free stuff calendar. And what this is I give away something for free, a food for free every single day. And you have to follow me on Twitter or Facebook to figure out what it is you need to do to qualify for the free food. So for example, on Tuesday, April the 26th, I gave away a free pound of slow-smoked dry rub chicken wings to the first person to come into the bar and sing and do the chicken dance. It was my way of extending the brand and engaging with the community. Once you have a well-defined brand and you have social media infrastructure at your disposal, focus. You must focus on the brand that you defined. So the brand that we defined was quite simple. At Lou Dawgs, it's good food, good music, good people, and good times. That's our brand. That's how we're defined. That's what I focus on every day. Even the nonprofit agencies and the partnerships that I have in place today are aligned with the brand, which are, back to the DNA thing, aligned with what's important to me. What's important to me is giving the youth sports and music to allow them to invest, build character, learn something new, and stay out of trouble. And this is part of the Lou Dawgs brand in these partnerships. If you build the brand and you use the social media infrastructure, the doors of opportunity that will open will blow you away. I would never have been able to cater the Blue Jays clubhouse before social media. I would never have been able to meet some of the players and become friends with them. I would never have been able to cater the George Strombo show. I would never have been able to have the guys from Epic Mealtime into our Ryerson location for a video. I would never have been able to be on Dragon's Den. All of these opportunities happened because I had a well-defined brand and the power of social media at my fingertips. Now I know all the serious business guys in the back of the room here are saying, "Well, what's the impact to the bottom line? What's the bottom line?" I'll tell you quickly that the blue and the red lines are 2009, 2010 before I took social media seriously, and the green line is the results after social media was rolling. With a well-defined brand and social media, you can explore brand extensions. So we have a smoked lemon southern tea with our friends at Jack Daniel's, Lou Dawgs Lager, and some barbecue sauce. These are all potential streams for additional revenue in the future with distribution into grocery stores and anything else we can get involved in. So one of the most incredible experiences in my brand and social media experience was, I'll show you a video right now and we'll go from there.
Oh snap, we're not only trending in Canada, we're trending worldwide! 1 minute on Much Music, plus the hashtag poutine routine. Yes. Do you want to explain that one, Phoebe?
Well, yes. The night before, One Direction Big Time Rush played a show at the ACC, and Louie and Harry from One Direction went down to a restaurant that we like to call Lou Dawgs for some poutine, get some poutine for the first time. The guys tweeted out when they were there, check this out, giving props to Lou Dawgs, talking about, if anyone wants to eat in Toronto, go to Lou Dawgs, very good brownie, and obviously the poutine was awesome. And since then, this restaurant has been getting so much attention.
Oh, and we've actually got Daryl here, the owner. Daryl, what's up?
Daryl!
Too much? Not too much?
You've had a busy week.
Bud.
Oh, it's been crazy. I mean, it's crazy. The story here is the power of social media.
All right. So in all my years as a guitarist, growing up in bands and whatnot, I never thought that my first Much Music interview would have to do with a boy band. So what happened here? What happened here? There's a radio host here in the city named Mad Dog, and he had an interview booked with the One Direction guys on Monday. On Saturday, he happened to be in for brunch. And, you know, we're engaging, and he sent some funny pictures of, you know, himself eating ribs, et cetera, et cetera. And the guys from One Direction must have been following Mad Dog, because on Sunday, after their concert at the ACC, they stroll into our restaurant, they knew where it was, and they eat. And they had our pulled pork poutine, otherwise called our lutein, which on our menu is described as ain't no routine poutine. So they have the lutein, they have the brownies. As they left, they tweeted about the brownie and the lutein, and they used the term ain't no routine poutine. Now, this demographic called the Directioners took over. Now, keep in mind, this is the demographic that's literally born with smartphones in their hands. So these guys are social media ninjas. They were tweeting and retweeting and tweeting, and this routine poutine, stuck. Before you knew it, Lou Dawgs Barbecue is trending in Toronto. Lou Dawgs Barbecue is trending in Canada. Lou Dawgs Barbecue is trending in the United Kingdom. Lou Dawgs Barbecue trending in Sydney, Australia, in Melbourne, Australia, the whole continent of Australia, New Zealand, and Buenos Aires. I don't even speak Spanish. I mean, it was an incredible adventure. We were even featured in a One Direction fan magazine that a friend bought in Australia and took a picture of and posted to my Facebook wall. It was the most incredible experience, because for me, watching my phone be alerted with all these incredible texts and tweets and whatever, what was fascinating to me is some of the tweets that I got it was like watching a toddler learn how to walk. Some of the tweets I got were, Directioners, we did it. We're trending globally. We did it. We have made a difference. We have been able to connect globally. This demographic literally found their global connected real-time voice that would never have been possible before the infrastructure of social media, which is in each one of our palms. And that's the power. And that's what I'd like to leave you with today, is just the thought that now that we're armed with a real-time connection to a global community, what else are we able to achieve? Thank you very much. I'm Daryl D'souza. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon.